we talk about closing, getting in front of the client, sitting down for the appointment, and just being able to close?
Okay,
locking it up.
So you're at a listing appointment and you want to lock up the listing. What's the objection you got recently that caused you not get the appointment? Right.
Let me talk it over with my wife. Let me let you know. We'll reach out. I said, sure, well, I can reach out as well. Do you have any questions? Anything that's you're hesitating on that I can clarify up for you? Or
so you're sitting, just to clarify, right? Everyone listen up, right? So you're at the appointment. You set the appointment, you're at the appointment, you're sitting down with the seller. And they say they want to talk it over with their wife.
Yeah, this is after we do the preview. We walk through the home. I go through my presentation. I explain what I can do to them, marketing strategies, this and that.
Ready? I'm going to tell you a key thing. This is going to help you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll even do videos about this shortly. When it comes to an appointment, it's more about the pre-qual than it is about the appointment itself. Because if you've done enough on the pre-qual, the appointment should be easy as cake. Okay, let me explain what I mean. Before you walk in the front door, there's a bunch of things you need to do. A pre-qualification call is what?
Finding out how motivated they are to sell.
Okay, in generality, yes. Okay, so when you're calling them to not only confirm the appointment, obviously, making sure we're still on for today at 3, whatever it is, right? But what you're going to do is you're going to want to see and try to handle all objections up front, right? I'll even do you one better, right? You guys are all going to enjoy this. I say like, hey, Monica, it's Henry with EXP Realty. How you doing?
Hey, Henry, how are you?
Doing great, thanks. Look, 2 things. Number 1, just wanted to confirm our appointment for today at 3 p.m. Just wanted to make sure you are going to be there.
Yes, that works for me.
Okay, fantastic. Second, just a couple quick things to make sure I'm 100% prepared for today. Number 1, are you the only decision maker or is there any other decision makers that need to be there?
Right now, I'm the only decision maker. I would like to run it past my partner, but I am the head of it.
Okay, just to clarify, if your partner's not there, right? This is key stuff, guys. If your partner's not there, can you make a decision or no?
It would be a little bit tough, but I think we can get around that.
If your spouse or your partner needs to be there, I'd like for them to be there, right? This way you're not kind of trying to copy the information I just told you to then bring it back to them to then bring it back to me. Is that making sense?
No, it definitely makes sense.
Okay, great. So just to clarify, like, let's just say that's not the case. Let's just say that he is the only decision maker,
Okay.
right? So in that one case, we're good, right? So that part of it is good because if he's the only decision maker, we're okay. If he goes to me, no, like my wife is like, I need to confirm with my wife. Let's reschedule for a time where your wife can be there.
Okay, that makes the most sense.
Okay, because I don't want to go to an appointment to then not speak to all the decision makers to then all of a sudden have the objection like you just got. When would be a good time that you and your wife will be there?
Maybe we can move from today to tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening, fantastic. Does 6 or 8 p.m. work better for you?
Let's do 6 p.m.
Cool. Do you see how I'm shifting, David? Now, again, that's the circumstance where he is not with his wife and I'm confirming the decision makers. Okay. Now, let's just say, no, my wife's going to be there. It's going to be both of us, both the decision makers, no problem. In that scenario, you're going to go into the following. Mona, just to clarify, after our appointment today, let's say the numbers make sense, everything makes sense today. Are you prepared to list with me at the appointment?
As long as everything makes sense, I would strongly consider it. I'm not sure if I want to make any immediate decisions today, but there is a chance.
Okay. I can appreciate that. What is your biggest concern about listing the property?
Biggest concern would be getting the price that I'm looking for. I did plan to interview another agent next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to go through with that, but it was a thought.
Pause real fast. Do you guys hear how he's now giving me the objections as to why he won't list with me before I even go there? So now I'm going to be prepared for all of that. By the way, if you think you're the only person they're interviewing, you're fucking wrong. Everyone's always interviewing more than one person. However, listen, most people will list with the first person they meet with, right? 70-80% will meet with the first person they meet with, which is why it's important just to get the first appointment. Always be first. Oh, I'm interviewing a couple agents. Great. When is your first appointment? Well, it's probably tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Great. Can I meet you tomorrow at 3? Okay.
Are you going to handle that objection over the phone, or are you going to wait till you meet him?
No, of course I'm going to try to handle it over the phone. So I'm pausing for a second, but yes, I'm going to try to handle that in 2 seconds, right? Because like what you're going to handle here is like, listen, just to clarify, are you interviewing multiple people specifically to see who has the cheapest commission rate? Or are you looking for someone who's the most experienced?
Most likely the most experienced. I know most of you guys have a very similar commission. It's not down to the penny, but more about the experience behind the agent.
So just to clarify, you're looking for the most experienced agent. Everything makes sense today. Just also make sure that we have everything, all of our ducks in a row. Can you have a copy of your key handy for me at the appointment?
I could definitely have that.
And then just to clarify, let's say again, everything works out perfectly today. You guys are ready to go. Commission rate makes sense. The marketing makes sense. The price makes sense. Everything's good to go. How fast are you looking to get the house on the market?
Between 30 to 45 days. I'm trying to move pretty quickly.
Got it. So you want it on the market in 30 days or you want to have it sold in 30 days? Because they're very different things.
On the market in 30.
On the market. Okay. Okay. So no problem. When they're 30 days out from making a decision, I want you to understand something. it's a little bit more difficult to try to get things locked up. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you want to try to get them to list it like immediately. Like a 30-day span, a million things can go wrong. You're adding too much time to something. So my next question will be just to be completely clear, is there any reason why you're waiting for 30 days?
Plan on painting the bathroom. I have to move some stuff out. My kids' rooms are disasters. We need to figure that out. But other than that, there's not really too much holding me back.
In this scenario, right, typically I'd recommend the following. If I could show you, Chris, that it actually makes more sense to sell it as is versus spending the money, is that something you would consider?
I would be open to the conversation.
And also just to let you know, like, because I don't want to tell you to do work unless there's a complete return on investment. Because if you spend $1,000 spending, time, money, energy, effort, cleaning something up, renovating something, and it doesn't return $1,000 back, can you understand why I wouldn't recommend you to do that?
After this conversation, I would strongly consider leaning more towards yes than no.
So you see where I'm going, David? I'm trying to bang out every goddamn objection before he can give it to me. Because the worst thing I can do is not ask the tough question now. Ask the hard questions right now, because you're going to have to do it face to face, and it only gets harder. And I'd rather ask the question because I'd rather him be blunt with me. Like, listen, dude, like, I'm probably not going to list with you because my brother's a fucking realtor. I just want to know what price you're thinking. I've had people say that, but I wouldn't have heard that if I didn't pre-qual them before. Now you're at the appointment. Let's say you've done all that. Let's say that you're sitting down with them. They still need they still want to think about it. Great. I make a joke out of it, but I'm telling you this works. Okay. Listen, I can totally appreciate you want to think about it. I'll step out for 5 to 15 minutes. You guys can think about it, and I'll be right back. Okay? Because I can understand you want to think about it, but you've been clearly thinking about this for more than like the past couple months. We've been talking for 6 months now, so you've been thinking about it. Sounds like there's some hesitation in wanting to list the property with me. Can I just ask you what you're most hesitant about? Just ask the question. It doesn't mean they won't list with you. Most of the time, they made a decision already. Because the last thing I would say to you is, listen, tie him back to the motivation. John, you told me you wanted to have this property up in the next 7 days. You want to move fast so you can get down to Florida, whatever the heck it is. I can have a house cleaner set up for tomorrow morning. Photo scheduled in the afternoon. I could have this property listed in literally 48 hours. I'll cancel everything else I got going on. We get this house listed. We can have it sold in the next week or two, so we can get you down to Florida ASAP. Would it be better for you if we schedule photos for tomorrow or Thursday? Just try to close for it. No, like we want to think about it. Great. Just clarifying, right? Like it sounds like there's some hesitancy around listing the property with me. Can I ask you what you're possibly hesitant about? Just what it sounds like to me. You just currently live in your neighborhood more than how many houses they've actually sold.
Okay, and when we have the objection of experience and we have an agent who has not done that much volume, what do we do then?
Okay, so again, you're just saying like hypothetically they're looking for somebody who's more experienced.
Correct.
Okay, listen, my office and I always say this. My office and I have, and then say stats. They don't fucking know your ass from your elbow, dude. They don't know anything. These clients don't know a single. You could literally say to them, my company and I have been the number one team in this, or the number one office in this area for 70 years straight. They would have no idea if you're lying. I'm not telling you to lie, but I am saying that speak whatever the real stats are, say them.
So I always use my company. Yeah. I always bring up market share, list to sell ratio, but then they go on to say, I want to know about you.
Okay, well, that's fine. So then you can say like just say like my partner and I, and use me. It's fine.
Okay.
My partner and I have sold hundreds and hundreds of homes, right, together. We do a lot of business locally. We can get your property up in 48 hours. What else do you need?